Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, what if I could actually go there? Not in a movie, not in a simulation, but for real. Welcome to the new frontier of luxury, where the elite no longer look for five-star beach resorts or private islands, because now they're reaching for the stars. Literally. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is space tourism. The most exclusive adventure money can buy. And it's not for the faint-hearted or the light-pocketed. We're talking millions of dollars, cutting-edge spacecrafts, zero-gravity cocktails, and views earthbound billionaires can only dream of. Before we launch into this thrilling journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because here at the Luxury Lane, we don't just explore wealth. We uncover the worlds it can unlock. Now, let's take off. In the past, space was the realm of astronauts and scientists. You needed decades of training, government clearance, and nerves of steel. But now, the ultra-wealthy can do what only a handful of humans have achieved before. Travel beyond our atmosphere. The first seeds of commercial space tourism were planted by visionaries like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson. These titans didn't just want to touch the stars, they wanted to sell the experience. And with that, the race to commercialize space began. Today, we have three key players dominating the cosmos. 1. Blue Origin, founded by Jeff Bezos. It launched its first crewed mission in 2021. The New Shepard rocket took passengers just beyond the Kármán line, the edge of space, before safely returning to Earth. 2. VirginGalactic, Richard Branson's brainchild. VirginGalactic focuses on suborbital flights with a luxurious twist. Think space tourism meets private jet vibes. 3. SpaceX, Elon Musk's juggernaut, is aiming higher. Literally. Unlike the others, SpaceX isn't limiting itself to brief flights. It's already sent civilians into orbit with its all-private Inspiration 4 mission. These companies are redefining what luxury means. No longer limited to land, sea, or air, but extended into the void of space. So, how much does it cost to book your seat to the stars? Let's break it down. VirginGalactic tickets currently go for around $450,000 per person. Blue Origin doesn't publish fixed prices, but seats have auctioned for $28 million. Yes, you heard that right. And reportedly settled around $1 to $3 million for future flyers. SpaceX's private orbital flights, upwards of $55 million per seat, depending on mission complexity. For the ultra-wealthy, these are bragging rights worth every cent. You're not just flying somewhere exclusive, you're leaving the planet. So, who's buying a ticket to space? So far, the early adopters of space tourism include celebrities, tech moguls, hedge fund billionaires, and thrill-seeking aristocrats. Some of the most notable names include Jeff Bezos himself, who was aboard Blue Origin's first human flight, Richard Branson, who flew aboard VirginGalactic's VSS Unity just days before Bezos, Yusaku Maezawa, the Japanese billionaire fashion tycoon, who not only orbited Earth aboard a SpaceX capsule, but also plans a moon flyby mission called Dear Moon, with a crew of artists and creatives. Others are queuing up, waiting their turn to be immortalized as space tourists, the next generation of explorers. Their names will be etched into history not for discovering new lands, but for venturing into the great unknown with style, comfort, and flair. What does luxury look like in space? Well, think of it as a five-star hotel, floating above Earth. On board VirginGalactic's Spaceship Two, passengers get individual reclining seats, massive portholes, and HD cameras to capture every floating moment. You get several minutes of weightlessness and a breathtaking view of the curvature of the Earth, and that famous overview effect where astronauts describe a sudden shift in consciousness when seeing Earth from above. Blue Origin's New Shepard capsule features sleek interiors, oversized windows, the largest ever flown to space, and even a champagne welcome upon landing. And SpaceX? They're raising the bar even further with the Dragon capsule. The Inspiration 4 mission orbited Earth for 3 days in a luxury-designed capsule with a giant glass dome, essentially a cosmic viewing deck. Coming up next, space hotels. Companies like Orbital Assembly Corporation and Voyager Station are actively designing luxury space habitats where guests could stay for days or even weeks. Think rotating rings, artificial gravity, Earth view suites, and interstellar lounges. The price? Likely in the tens of millions per stay. Why are billionaires so eager to go to space? It's not just about thrill-seeking, and it's about legacy, status, and escaping earthly limits. 1. Exclusivity. Only a handful of people have been to space. It's the ultimate VIP experience. 2. Immortality. Their names go down in history. The first civilians in orbit, the first luxury guests in space. That's timeless prestige. 3. Curated risk. Space is dangerous, but controlled risk is the new luxury. Skydiving is passé. Spaceflight? Now that's a real adrenaline badge. 4. Tech prestige. Being associated with cutting-edge spaceflight is a flex. It says, I'm not just rich, I'm next level. Space tourism is becoming the new frontier of billionaire branding. Imagine waking up to a sunrise from orbit. Instead of a beachfront view, you get a cosmic panorama. This is not a fantasy. This is the next evolution of ultra-luxury, space hotels. 2 main players are leading the charge. 1. Voyager Station, proposed by Orbital Assembly Corporation. This rotating space hotel aims to open by the late 2020s. Designed like a futuristic wheel in the sky, Voyager will simulate gravity using centrifugal force, offer luxury villas, Earth-facing suites, entertainment venues, restaurants, and bars, all in space. 2. Axiom Space Station. Built as a commercial segment attached to the International Space Station, Axiom plans to detach its module and create the first private space station. It will host tourists, researchers, and even private astronauts. The estimated cost for a short stay? Reports suggest pricing will begin around $55 million per person. But long-term, once operational efficiencies kick in, high-end guests might enjoy a multi-day space vacation for under $10 million. And yes, companies are already envisioning Michelin-starred meals, floating spas, and orbital art exhibitions. The ultra-wealthy won't just visit space, they'll inhabit it. Just like private jets and custom yachts, space tourism is quickly moving toward bespoke experiences. Companies are working on custom-tailored suits designed by luxury brands like Louis Vuitton and Prada. Yes, spacewear is getting haute couture upgrades. Personal branding in orbit. Imagine broadcasting your company's logo from a private capsule or filming a music video in zero-G. Curated flight itineraries that include lunar flybys, private spacewalks, or even capsule-to-capsule meetups between luxury guests in orbit. There are even rumors of celebrity space concerts, high-stakes poker tournaments above Earth, and exclusive NFT art drops tied to space travel. The ultra-rich don't just want to go to space, they want to shape their experience, brand it, and broadcast it to the world. The psychology of space. What it does to the elite. There's a term called the overview effect, a mental shift that occurs when people see Earth from space. It's been described by astronauts as a sudden realization of how fragile, interconnected, and precious our planet truly is. For the wealthy elite, many of whom live in insulated bubbles of luxury, this experience is transformative. Space offers perspective. Seeing Earth as a tiny blue dot can humble even the richest tycoon. Purpose. Many returning space tourists report feeling a renewed sense of responsibility or philanthropy. Status reset. In space, money doesn't matter. You're strapped in, just like everyone else. There's no 5-star escape hatch if something goes wrong. It's the great equalizer, and that adds allure. In a strange twist, space, once a domain of ego and ambition, is becoming a source of humility for some of its most privileged visitors. Space tourism is also becoming the latest celebrity trend. A-list stars, athletes, influencers, and tech moguls are lining up for their seats aboard the next capsule. Why? Because space travel is the ultimate social currency. It signals exclusivity, courage, futurism, and wealth, all in one launch. Some of the high-profile names associated with space travel include Tom Cruise, reportedly planning to shoot a movie aboard the ISS, William Shatner, the original Captain Kirk, who flew aboard Blue Origin's rocket at age 90, Lady Gaga, who was rumored to perform the first concert in space. As more celebrities go orbital, demand among the ultra-rich is only growing. Everyone wants to be first. First influencer in space, first TikTok from orbit, first wedding in space. The possibilities are endless, and the bragging rights, priceless. Space tourism is fueling a whole new luxury economy. We're not just talking rockets and suits. Entire industries are sprouting up to serve this elite clientele. Space travel insurance, customized policies for orbital emergencies, zero-gravity fitness, specialized trainers prepping guests for the demands of space, private spaceports, ultra-exclusive terminals being built in deserts and islands to offer seamless launches away from media attention, orbital marketing, luxury brands planning to advertise in space. Luxury is no longer confined to the Earth. We're witnessing the birth of a cosmic class system, where wealth determines not just how you live, but where you can go in the universe. Space as the final playground. Forget yachts, forget private jets. For the ultra-wealthy, the Earth is starting to feel small. They've conquered every country, bought every mansion, and partied on every private island. Now they're setting their sights on something truly unmatched: space. It's not just about exploration, it's about exclusivity. Only the richest, boldest, and most visionary can claim the title of space tourist. And in that, a new chapter of luxury is being written, one where the sky is no longer the limit. So, what's after Earth orbit? For the ultra-wealthy, suborbital joyrides are already becoming yesterday's luxury. The next goal? Deep space travel. Think lunar vacations. SpaceX's Dear Moon project aims to fly paying civilians around the moon as early as the 2030s. Mars missions. Elon Musk has his eyes set firmly on colonizing Mars, and some billionaires are already on the waiting list. Interplanetary real estate. Yes, you heard right. There are already speculative investments being made in space property. Plots of land on the moon or Mars, mostly symbolic for now, but seriously discussed in elite circles. Space is no longer just an escape. It's becoming the next realm of wealth creation, influence, and control. In the future, it won't be unusual for ultra-wealthy families to own orbital homes, lunar retreats, or even stakes in Martian colonies. It's the new frontier of dynastic power, the cosmic equivalent of royal landholdings. But while some see inspiration in this great leap, others raise an eyebrow. Critics argue that space tourism is the most extreme form of wealth inequality. Billionaires burning rocket fuel for fun, while billions struggle for clean water, food, and basic healthcare. There's growing debate over whether this new form of luxury is morally responsible or just glorified escapism. In response, space companies argue that tourism funds innovation, that the money pouring into these flights trickles down into science, aerospace research, and even climate technology. And there's truth to that. Technologies developed for space travel often improve life on Earth. But still, the sight of a private citizen sipping champagne in zero gravity while wildfires rage back home paints a complicated picture. In a way, space tourism is not just a luxury trend, it's a mirror. It reflects our highest ambitions and our deepest divides. Despite the criticisms, there's something undeniably powerful about what space tourism represents. It's the convergence of wealth, imagination, and courage. For all its flash and expense, it still awakens something primal in us, the call to explore, to push boundaries, to write our name on the stars. Because no matter how rich you are, space reminds you of one thing: you're still small, and perhaps that's the real allure. Among the billions of people who will never leave Earth, only a few, the boldest, wealthiest few, will ever look down on it from above. And that view changes everything. We're living in a moment of history that future generations will read about in textbooks. Right now, at this exact point in time, luxury has crossed over into the cosmos. The same people who once bought penthouses in New York and villas in the Maldives are now spending fortunes to orbit Earth, fly by the moon, or one day, maybe even walk on Mars. It's no longer about living large. It's about living light years ahead.